moment. It was delivered 2 weeks ago. It's still there in the packing case.
Right.
It's cluttering up the foyer.
Right.
And I'd rather you took it back than delay any longer on this.
You're threatening to sue me and the damn thing hasn't been installed yet. It's been sitting in my hall for the past 3 weeks.
What's going on?
Nothing. Everything's fine. We've a 2-month backlog on installations, that's all.
What do you mean?
What do I say? It's your wonderful computer. Speeded up orders, fine. Speeded up delivery, that's great. Only thing is, we can't install them.
Why not? Where are the engineers?
Oh, plenty of engineers, no vans to put them in.
Why not?
They're all out delivering. We promised 28 days delivery, remember? Either we don't deliver, or we deliver and we don't install. Whichever you prefer. Seems the best way out of a bad job. As it is, we've had 500 cancellations this month.
You're kidding.
Yeah, they're all going to Allied Industries. Can't blame them, really. Oh, by the way, invoicing is working fine. Only trouble is, they're going out on delivery, not installation. Customers are getting a bit knocked, getting invoiced when they haven't been installed. And of course, we'll need the vans to pick up the cancellations.
Barbara, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Can I have a word with you?
Of course.
In private.
All right. What's up?
I've just found out you're not using the new system.
That's right.
Any particular reason?
It doesn't work.
What do you mean? We just spent 100,000 putting it up on the system.
It doesn't work. It's too slow. It's cluttered up with all sorts of things that I don't need. I'm better off using my personal computers.
That makes a mockery of the whole thing.
Not really. Service is doing fine, thank you very much.
And to hell with the rest, you mean?
Look, Barbara, I've got a department to run. You want to run beautiful systems? That's your business.
But I need figures on service, you know that. We share the same client base, remember?
Anytime you want any information, just come to me.
You've done this to make me a laughing stock.
You're wrong. I'm protecting the interests of my department. And I'll tell you another thing. I'm not prepared to be sucked into your empire. Not yet.
Hello, Gary.
Hello, David. Is that you?
Yes, it is. How are you?
Fine. Haven't they got rid of you yet?
Not quite yet. I've got 1 or 2 headaches to sort out first. As a matter of fact, that's really why I'm calling you. It's an informal sort of thing, really. I wondered if you'd come and have a look at one of our computer projects.
Oh, yes.
Yes, a sort of feasibility study in reverse, if you see what I mean.
You mean you've already signed the cheque?
Exactly. A viability study, whatever it is you chaps call it. Just a brief look round in your lunch hour sort of thing. Would you do that?
No trouble. Anything to help out an old friend.
Thanks. Yeah, not so much of the old, if you don't mind. Well, I'll see you soon. Bye.
So, how's Dorothy?
Oh, fine. I think she's a bit worried about having me about the house. Can't say I blame her.
You looking forward to it?
Well, I'm not sure. I suppose it'd be nice to have a bit of a rest. On the other hand, I might be bored stiff after 24 hours. No problems, no disasters.
Well, what's your poison?
No, let me. What would you like?
Scotch, please.
Double? I think you might need it.
It's that bad, is it?
2 large scotches, please.
Well, get on with it. I presume you've got some news for me.
Of course, you realise these are only my initial findings.
Yes, go on.
And ultimately, in a case like this, it's impossible to assess with 100%.
Oh, come on, Gary. Give me the bottom line.
Shall we sit down?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, it doesn't look too good. I've taken into account the capital cost of the project. Then, of course, added to that, you've got one-off staff relocation costs. That comes to 6 million nearly. Then, of course, on top of that, you've got the ongoing losses incurred by what I see as a failure on the part of the system to address the corporation's primary business needs.
Yes.
See, that's lost revenue, lost profits amounting to 5 or 6 million annually. And then on top of that, you've got running costs.
Yeah, well, look, just hang on a minute. I mean, are you telling me that this system is losing us money?
That is my opinion, yes.
Which we wouldn't have lost if we hadn't bought it in the first place?
5 or 6 million annually.
But is that possible?
Oh, yes, I come across it all too often.
God, how did it happen?
I've jotted down some of the key turning points as I see them where things went wrong. Have you time?
Oh, go ahead, I may as well hear the worst.
Mail with graphics.
Firstly, there was the question of responsibility for the project. Who was supposed to be in charge? Was it Mr. Franks? A well-meaning computer professional, but did he have the necessary breadth of vision to handle the project? He could ensure that the system worked technically, but is that enough? A system must serve the business needs of the corporation. Similarly, Barbara Mitchell, an excellent sales and marketing manager, no doubt. But again, is she in a position to have the overall interests of the corporation at heart? What this argues for, of course, is somebody at board level to oversee the project. There was Harry MacLeod, a good businessman, an excellent finance director. But even finance directors have their faults. He intervened personally when the project looked like breaking the budget. Unfortunately, his cuts, although effective from a financial point of view, took no account of the long-term business implications of a system half realized. What this project needed was guidance at board level, from someone who had specific responsibility for information technology, who could report directly to the managing director, the chairman. It really is that important. And you were absent yourself at that crucial meeting when the project was approved.
Yes, the chairman called me in at the last moment, as I recall.
You should have been there. Another drink?
No, thank you.
Shall I go on, or am I boring you?
I think I can safely say you're not boring me.
In fact, the system was a success, in some ways. The automated order processing, for example, improved throughput by 30%, just as was predicted. Only trouble was, it worked so well, it produced bottlenecks in other departments. Remember the installation crisis?
What's going on?
Nothing. Everything's fine. We've a 2-month backlog on installations, that's all.
What do you mean?
What do I say? It's your wonderful computer. Speeded up orders, fine. Speeded up delivery, that's great. Only thing is, we can't install them.
Why not? Where are the engineers?
Oh,
All that came about because the office automation system was seen as an isolated project. Of course it wasn't. It had a very far-reaching effect on many other departments, and these should have been predicted. And of course there are always other departments competing for information technology resources. If all these requirements aren't properly coordinated, the overall business performance of the corporation is bound to suffer. A tough go-ahead manager, Tom Blythe pushed ahead with his own system, creating an island of technology, a system that was not compatible with any other. This lack of compatibility was bound to be the start of a major problem.
Okay.
Haven't you thrown that lot away, eh?
What, out of your own personal computers? Not on your life.
In the new system.
Of course, it's possible to blame Blythe for going it alone. On the other hand, if his legitimate needs had been recognised early enough, they could have been accommodated within the system. Going back to that crucial board meeting, it was Mr. MacLeod who made the sort of statement that passed by uncontested at the time.
Tom, with the greatest respect, I don't think we're discussing your computing requirements. This is a proposal in hand. We should judge this on its merits first, don't you think?
Well, frankly, I think it's
Wrong. The proposal should have been considered within the context of all the corporation's computing requirements. And of course, it doesn't help one bit that your data processing department is locked into the equipment of one computer supplier. Many companies are unable to get the software they really need because of these restrictions. On the other hand, others are biting the bullet and converting to hardware which allows them a greater choice of software. It's very expensive, but sometimes it's a necessary investment. All this boils down to one thing, David. The corporation lacks an information technology strategy. This is first and foremost a business strategy, which outlines your corporate objectives for the next, say, 5 years. This must then be broken down into departmental objectives. Sales department, service department, distribution department, and so on. After that, you can move on to the next stage, working out your information needs. Do you see? Only then is it time to look at the different hardware and software options, prioritize them, and make sure they fit into the overall plan. It's a lot of work, but if it isn't done properly, you stand to lose more money in the future. Had enough?
Is there more?
Cheer up, David. If it's any consolation, there are many companies making similar mistakes. Millions of pounds are being wasted by companies failing to exploit information technology properly. And what's more, a lot of them don't even know it.